How has the policing changed in the 40 years that you've been there?
Well, let's put it this way. I remember when they got power steering on a police car, so that's quite a change from 1970 to today, where we have computers and everything else in the car in which to, as a tool for our working abilities to make things a lot easier for us to work and not make the public safer, and also for the officers to gather more information, which is a big thing today.
You were the first public information officer for City Police. Again, how has that role changed over the 14 or 15 years that you were in it?
Well, it's changed significantly in terms of the amount of people that used to be in the industry. It's gone high-tech, I guess, if you will, which is what these people do. But nothing's really changed in terms of delivering the message to the public of what's taking place in the city, what the police are doing in the city, what we're doing to serve with programs, events, and anything of a serious nature that goes on to inform the public of what's taking place. And that's what the role is. It's also to promote the police department and to the members that are in it also, for they're aware of what's taking place and make sure that it's out there to the media in a proper fashion, in a timely fashion that it should be. And that's quite a big role to have. And it's a sergeant's job with portfolio, obviously. So it's important that that message gets out there. And that position was created. It was an important position, and it was needed, because the media wanted somebody dedicated that could do that type of work and feed the information that they need.
Over the 40 years, is there any one thing in particular that stands out?
I got so many, Gary. It's a good question. There's a lot that stands out. I remember the unfortunate and tragic bus crash in Sussex. And St. John, of course, assisted in terms of the people that were being transferred to St. John, and bringing the families into the airport because they flew from all different parts of the United States and Canada. And it was quite a traumatic experience, and with the families, and making sure that they were escorted to the hospitals and around the city, because I forget exactly how many people perished in that crash, but that's just one that sticks out in my mind. But there's several others that come to mind also. Unfortunately, there were several homicides that we had over the years, and there was some fires that were tragic over the years, and there was some criminals out in the run. If you recall, Gary, I think you and I worked on one time back in the late 90s in the East St. John area, where a person with a weapon was in the area creating some havoc, if you will, in the East St. John area, and that came to a successful conclusion eventually, which it usually does, but without any injuries to anybody. So that's a couple of the things that I can really just touch on right now.
The award that you're receiving today, what does it mean to you?
It means a lot to me because I had quite a stellar career, if you will. It's 40 years of service. I was into 41 before my announcement of retirement. And the 40 years I don't regret. It was not 1 minute of it. I do it all over again. And the employers, the management, and staff of the City of St. John were tremendous during my career, including the past management. So it was quite a career. So I remember even riding motorcycles with one person back in '86. We had the new Harleys. That was quite an experience. So I can go on. I had different types of jobs throughout my career of 40 years. And from youth division officer, motorcycle officer, traffic officer, to general patrol, then promoted to corporal, promoted to sergeant, and it goes on and on. I had several courses to Canadian Police College. I was seconded to University of Southern California for a course for 8 months for the youth division, when we pioneered that back in 1978. So, and the president's management today is excellent. I mean, the people that they're having in those positions certainly are the right people that should be where they are.
What one word of advice would you offer to a young person considering a career in policing?
Well, I say it'd be an excellent career. I certainly encourage you that. And when I had my little party that they had last week, I mentioned to the younger officers that just because if you apply for something that you were not the successful applicant, that doesn't mean that the world has come to an end. There's something down the road that probably be better for you, or something a little better that you didn't expect, and it'll work out great in the end. So don't let that dishearten you. And it's a great career for anybody to take on.